Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to go over the Bishui Golden-Eyed Beast boss fight of Chapter 5 in Black Myth. This is an optional boss fight that is a little bit challenging, but I think it's definitely worth the time to do it as you get some pretty cool rewards. You get a new armor set that you can see I'm wearing there, as well as a new weapon and some other things. It's also part of kind of a secret quest line that you need to complete in order to get access here. As you can see, we are at the Bishui Cave. If we take a look at our Keeper Shrine checkpoints, so we've got the secret Bishui Cave here, and then we're at the Corridor of Fire and Ice. So I'll kind of quickly walk through the steps on how to get here first, and then we'll go through the build and equipment and things that I used, and then walk through the fight and talk about the strategy and things like that as well. Alright, so starting off, this boss is located in a secret area. It's part of a quest that you need to complete. So I won't go into too much detail, but I will walk through all of the steps that you need to complete in order to get there. So this will get you access to the Bishui Cave where he's located. Starting off from the kind of the beginning area of Chapter 5, we are at the Flaming Mountains, Ashen Pass, Keeper Shrine. So from there, if we hang right over to this area, there is going to be the Pale Axe Stalwart that we'll need to first defeat that will kick off this quest and start the dialogue there. So as you make your way into this area, there's going to be some battling going on and whatnot. The Pale Axe Stalwart will be here, so defeat him, and that will be the first step here. When you finish up all that dialogue with him, you'll need to defeat 4 cart bosses as you make your way through this chapter. So the first one is located right next to this area up these stairs here. So it's pretty obvious. You'll run right into him, but he's in this spot. So this is the brown iron cart boss. So that's the first one. The next one that you'll run into is the gray bronze cart, and this is located near the Height of Ember Keeper Shrine. So he'll be through this gate that we're heading towards right here. And then as you make your way through the doors, you'll see him off to the right here in this tunnel. He'll be right down there. So this will be the second one that you need to defeat. And again, you'll run right into him, so he's not really hidden or anything, but he'll be down in this passage here as you make your way through this area. After that, you can head back to the same area at the beginning where you defeated Pale Axe. He'll be up here, and you can talk to him for a little bit to have some dialogue to progress the quest further, and then we can head to the third cart. And that one is located a little further into Chapter 5, so you'll need to progress a little bit until you get here. But we are at the Flaming Mountains, Furnace Valley, and Emerald Hall Keeper Shrine, so you'll need to get to that point, and then make your way. You'll have to get past this point as you make your way through the Emerald Hall area. Eventually, you'll make it to this area, which is where the Crimson Silver cart is. So this will be the third one that you need to defeat, and then after that, you'll also be able to talk to Pale Axe again to progress the quest a little bit, and then we'll make our way to the fourth one. And this one will require a little bit of backtracking as you progress through Chapter 5. So we're at currently at the Ashen Pass 3 Site of Grace. So looking at the checkpoints here, we're at Field of Fire, then Ashen Pass 3. So this, if you get to this point, there's going to be a spiked ball, and you have to kind of go through the sequence where it travels back and forth. It clears out this area. So you have to kind of get through that part first and then progress the story until this is all clear. So this path is now like empty and you can just kind of walk through free. So you need to get to that point first. So once you do that, travel back to this Keeper Shrine, and there's going to be a new path that we can then get to. So make your way down this path again. And then on the right side, down the pathways, we have access to this area here. So this will lead to the Cooling Slope, which is where the final cart is that we're going to need to defeat. So progress down here, and eventually we'll run into it. So here we are at the bottom of that path, and we'll run into the Cooling Slope Keeper Shrine, so we can grab that real quick. And then from that checkpoint, you'll see this big entrance down here, and this is where the final cart is going to be. So we can make our way over there. So this area here is where the Rusty Gold cart is going to be, so you'll have that boss fight that you'll need to complete. And that'll essentially be kind of the end of the quest accessing you, or giving you access to the Bishui Cave, which will be right here. So once you go through all that, you'll have a little dialogue with Pale Axe as well. Again, you can make your way into the Bishui Cave, and then essentially you're just going to have to progress through there until you finally get to the point where the boss is. Now taking a look at the boss fight and the build that I use. So first off, I'd recommend heading over to the Zodiac Village and just using any remaining upgrades if you haven't done that lately. And also respecking if necessary. So that's what I did specifically for this fight. So if we take a look at my Celestial Medicines, you can see here that originally I had a lot of stuff just kind of dispersed around health, mana, and stamina and things like that. But I took a lot of those out and just put really heavy into burn resistance. And I think that helped out with damage negation for this quite a bit. So there's that option if you want to go ahead and do that as well. And then back in the arena, taking a look at my equipment and spark usage and things like that. So For my weapon, so that's the new weapon that you get after defeating him, but I used the golden long staff for this fight, which has some nice attack damage, as you can see there. So I had that equipped for the fight. And then I use the fireproof mantle, as not only will that build up some focus for us, but it also gives us burn immunity while we use that, so that's really useful. I use the Tiger's Acolyte. You can use it during the fight, his attack, but it also increases critical damage, so that's a nice benefit. And then I had the full Centipede armor set equipped as well. So those are the equipments there. And then I used the Cat's Eye Bead for critical hit chance. And then also the Amber Prayer Beads, which also increases the speed of building up focus points. Moving down to the gourd, the Shang River Goddess gourd is really good for this fight. As you can see, using that gives you burn resistance. And then for the drink, I've got Jade Essence to recover some mana as well as health. And then for the soaks, I've got Bee Mountain Stone and then the Flame Mediator for some additional burn resistance. So if you haven't noticed, we're going to go really heavy on burn resistance for this build to try and mitigate that as much as possible. Next, taking a look at our relics that I use. So I would recommend going through and completing Chapter 5 just so you can get that 5th relic unlocked. Kind of helps out with this fight. That's what I did. But these are the ones that I had equipped. So we had Keen Insight for critical hit damage, Whistling Wind for increasing attacks after perfect dodges, Hold Breath for extending dodge invincibility duration, Tongue of a Connoisseur, which will increase health recovery, essentially. And then finally, we've got Divine Safeguard, which is that 5th one that we'll get by defeating the chapter. And that's going to increase our 4 Bane resistances as well. And finally, moving over to Spark allocation. So this is how I had this build set up. So starting with Foundation, I had Stamina upgraded through Vigilant Heart. So I've got the 2 full points in that to get focus gain from perfect dodges. Under Martial Arts, I had that upgraded down to Sturdy. And then under Survival, I've got quite a few points, as you can see, fully upgrading Wrathful Escalation, Spiritual Awakening, and Wrathful Might. And then I had whatever remaining points I had after everything was done, I put into Surging Momentum, so I've got 4 points in that. We're going to be using Smash Stance, so I've got my heavy attack upgrades there, as you can see, and then you can see the points that I've got upgraded there on the left. And then the 2 spells that I'm using are Immobilize and Cloud Step. So Immobilize is fully upgraded, as you can see here. And then Cloud Step is fully upgraded as well. And that's pretty much everything. I don't have anything in Transformation. Not going to be using a Pluck a Mini for this fight. And that's it. So that's the build pretty much that we're going to be using for this strategy. Okay, so now taking a look at the fight as we run into the arena here. But before we get into that, just kind of a quick disclaimer that this boss is a little bit messy and he's kind of all over the place and his patterns are a little bit sporadic. So I think the build that I just walked through and the strategy that I'm going to show here works pretty well. It just might take you a couple tries until you get the right sequence of events to play out. There's a little bit of luck here. And again, sometimes you run in there, he's just all over the place and it's just a disaster. But again, I think if you stick with this, give it a few tries, it's going to work out pretty well. So we'll get into that now. So starting off, the first thing that we want to do is just like gently drop off the ledge there, as that will allow us to charge up a 3 focus attack before initiating the boss fight. Once we've got that, we can run up and get that hit off for kind of a free hit there. After that, immediately immobilize him, go in for a light attack combo. After that combo finishes up, then we're going to use Cloud Step and pop the Fireproof Mantle Vessel. That's going to start building up some focus as well as give us fire immunity. Also charging up another 3 focus attack, as you can see here. Try and be as patient as you can with these charged attacks to make sure that they're going to hit, because as this boss moves all over the place, as you can see as an example here, it can be really frustrating as you miss those, as it's jumping all over the place. And here's another example. So that's kind of the most frustrating thing of this fight, is just making sure that those hits actually hit. Here, after that, he likes to do this move a lot, where it's an area damage effect, so we want to back away. Taking a look at that again, you can see he screams in the air first as kind of the cue for that, so then dodge away, and you can pretty easily avoid that. After that, he's got a 3 dodge attack that he likes to do here, where he charges at you. So he, taking a look at that after this here, he'll charge at you, he'll punch down with his left arm, then he does a roll and punches down again. It's just kind of back-to-back dodges there, and then a little bit of a delay on the 3rd dodge. So once you get the timing for that, it's kind of a good opportunity for a 3 dodge attack, and then immediately after that, go in for some light attack combos. So he's got some openings where you can kind of get in there. This fight, you kind of really have to be a little bit aggressive and just kind of accept the fact that you're going to eat some damage. If you watch my health, though, it's really not too bad, and I think having all that fireproof immunity and burn resistance and whatnot helps mitigate that quite a bit. So kind of playing the game of we're going to be aggressive and deal damage, just hoping that that outweighs the damage that he does to us. So kind of being up in his face as much as possible. This next attack here, this is the attack you want to see him do. So he does 3 charges here. So once you get the timing, pretty good opportunity for 3 perfect dodges for some focus, and then following that 3rd dodge up for a heavy attack. So you can watch this again. Charges at us, charges for the 2nd time, and then charges again for the 3rd time. And after that 3rd time, you want to go in and go for that heavy attack there. This hit is going to get our first stagger on him, as you can see, which opens up an opportunity for a light attack combo, and then I quickly follow that up with my spirit spell attack for some additional damage. And then by this point, I have Immobilize and Cloud Step ready to go as well. So I'm getting ready to use Immobilize, and you also want to be patient with that as well. So if you try and use it while he's doing flips and stuff, it's not going to work, which can be really annoying too. So waiting for him to kind of stand still, use that, go in for another light attack combo. And then we're going to go into Cloud Step to get in a 3 focus charge attack. Again, being patient. You don't want to utilize that while he's up in the air or rolling around or whatever, so just kind of waiting for an opportune moment, making sure that hit lands. So we get that in. And then fortunately here, I think I kind of get lucky with the stagger hit. So again, you maybe have to do this a couple times where everything just kind of works out in your favor. But that gives me an opportunity for another light attack combo. And then here we're really happy because then he goes into this charge attack again, which gives us an opportunity for a couple perfect dodges. To build up some more focus for a charge attack. Unfortunately, missed that, whiffed that, so again, kind of the annoying part of this boss where some of those hits aren't going to land, unfortunately. But by this time, again, I got Cloud Step ready to go, so a lot of this fight, trying to rely on Immobilize and Cloud Step just to mitigate all his crazy movement and stuff. So he does that big attack, and I'm just kind of chilling out in the background. So get in a 3 focus attack there, and then kind of try and go in for some additional damage. And then from there, we're just going to try and finish out this fight with, trying to use a couple more Cloud Steps, maybe try and get in a couple light attack combos. You can see my gourd is in pretty good shape. We've got plenty of uses there, so we have some flexibility to be kind of aggressive to get in some light attack combos and whatnot. You can see Cloud Steps ready to go again, but he goes into the charging attack again, which we love, because that gives an opportunity to build up some more focus, dodge his attacks, and then hit him from behind there as he finishes up that 3rd charge. And again, I get another stagger here, so I'm not sure. I may have just kind of gotten lucky on the stagger hits for this fight, but that is an opportunity for another light attack combo. I've got Cloud Step ready to go. And again, if you can see my mana is almost gone. I could chug some of my gourd to build up that mana if I wanted to use Cloud Step again, but get that hit in, and you can see he's almost dead. So by this time, I'm just trying to poke him a couple times, but we still do have Transformation left. Haven't used that yet, so keep that in mind. You've got that in your back pocket as well, so I just go ahead and use that to finish up the fight to get in a couple more hits. So there you can see I defeat him. So that's kind of the strategy I used. Again, I will kind of use the disclaimer that this fight is kind of a messy, all over the place fight, so it may take a couple tries where kind of all this stuff works out, where you can see I got some nice stagger hits and things, and just depending on the pattern that he gives you. But again, I think if you just kind of stick with it, give it a couple tries, rely on this kind of general strategy using Cloud Step and Immobilize, I think you'll get it eventually, so if you are struggling with it. So hopefully this helps. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye.